Welcome back to the cascom videos. Cascom B is going to cover shift availabilities. In cascom A, that was an introduction to cascom, and once again here's the link that you need to get onto the cascom website. Cascom A finished with you selecting your locations. Now you're ready to put your availability into the system, or shift offers as cascom calls it. To do that, you click on the My Roster tab and then you go into the roster. It brings up the current week and you can move to subsequent weeks by using these arrows. You can go quite a few weeks in advance. It is an expectation that you maintain your availability accurately in the system. So if you've gone in advance and then something changes and you're no longer available, just pop onto the system and delete your availability. You've got access to this system anytime that you've got internet access. So we'll start on Wednesday the 1st of April, and you want to make yourself available, so you click on that and it brings up this little box. You actually put ticks next to the shifts you're available. Now if you're available to do the same shift for 2 or 3 days in a row, you just increase this number here. So we'll put that in for the Wednesday, Thursday and go add offer, and there it goes, it pops up into your system. Then if you just want to make yourself available for an early on the Friday, you would do that like this. Now to change the availability, you can either click here or down here on the edit button, and all that will let you do is either delete the offer or change it to a different shift. So we'll delete that AM shift there. Now if you wanted to add a different shift, you have to click the day again and then put a different offer in, so make ourselves available for a night duty on that day. So you've got this visual up here on your calendar and then also a list down here of the shifts that you've said you're available. Now how the system works, once you've got your availability in, if it's your turn for the shift, it shares the work around amongst available people. You'll get an SMS and it'll go hi and then your first name, PM shift, Wednesday the 1st of April, and tell you what ward and the actual shift times, and it'll send you a 6-digit code. That's 3 letters and 3 numbers. You just SMS back the code to accept the shift. Once you've done that, you should receive a confirmation text which will say hi and then your name and then shift confirmed, and it repeats all the details. Alternatively, if you've missed out on the shift, and I'll go into that in more detail in a moment, you'll get the message, hi, sorry, that shift's no longer available. If you've actually made a mistake with your 6-digit code, you'll get the message, sorry, unable to convert that code to a valid shift. So you just need to check your SMS and have another go. Now, time frames for shifts being offered to staff. We have our forward planning phase that starts at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday for the following calendar week. So at 4 o'clock on Tuesday, 1 SMS per shift goes out for everything we know about in the following calendar week. So if you get an SMS at 4 o'clock on Tuesday for the following calendar week, you know that you're the first person to be offered that shift and you have exclusivity to it until midday on Wednesday. If for some reason you haven't accepted the shift by midday on Wednesday, the system will send out what I call a second round offer, and that means there's 2 people in contention for the shift. So the first person can get in ahead of you if you get an SMS at midday on Tuesday. Similarly, if the first 2 people haven't picked up the shift, the computer will send out a 3rd round offer at 4 o'clock on Wednesday and a 4th round offer at 5 o'clock on Wednesday. Also, what happens at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, something called Show Open Roster comes into play, and you can click on the Show Open Roster, and if there were any shifts not covered in your area, you would have a list of the shifts here. So the date, the shift, the location, the 6-digit code, and over here you can click on Accept to roster yourself to the shift. So Show Open Roster is always available for the current week and then opens up every Wednesday at 5 o'clock for the following calendar week. Visually, up here your shifts are red when you've put your offers in. It goes amber when you've been offered a shift, and then once you're booked for a shift it would be green, and you'd also have a list of confirmed shifts here. Now with short notice shifts, so someone rings in sick, say for the Wednesday the 1st and for the next 3 days, if it's after 5 o'clock on the Wednesday for the current following calendar week, the system will send out up to 3 messages 5 minutes apart. Now the most important thing I can tell you is if you're still available to work, you still want to work, it's important you attempt to respond to the shift request, even if it's a considerable amount of time, 3 or 4 hours or even longer after your initial SMS. If you ignore the shift because you think someone else will have got the shift, the computer then assumes that you're no longer available and you won't get another shift offer for the same shift on the same day in this similar area. If you do attempt to respond, one of two things will happen. You'll either get the shift because you're the only person available, or alternatively, you'll get the message, sorry, the shift's no longer available, but you'll go to the top of the list and you'll get the next available shift offered to you. Now, it's important to remember, if you do accidentally make a error and accept a shift that you can't work, you need to ring the Central Resource Unit allocation team. The number's on the news page and was also in the first video, and they can alter that. That's also the number that you would ring if you had to ring in sick for a booked shift, or if you had any funny SMS requests, say for a shift starting at 4 o'clock, and you think to yourself, do they really want me to start at 4 o'clock? So once again, please maintain your availability accurately. If you do have any questions, there's an online user guide at the top of the page. Look at that first, and then if you're still requiring assistance, contact the Central Resource Unit allocation team, and if they're unable to help you, they will direct you to the appropriate person. Once again, thank you for your attention. Good luck. Goodbye.